My parents died of HIV/AIDS. I nursed my mom with the wounds, and she used to tell me, Joseph, HIV pains. And I was too young. I would get a piece of cloth and rub on her wounds, in the back, everywhere. Because in 2000, we had no medication for HIV/AIDS. So I looked at the situation that my mom went through. I remember the words she told me when she was dying. She told me a lot of words when she was dying. But, okay, it made me think that I need to do something.
I have known Joseph for quite a long time, at least what I remember very well. The first time I knew about Joseph and his other brothers, we knew that they have been orphans.
Joseph lost his father when he was a little boy. He lost his mother as well around 2001. He was a little boy, so he lost both parents because of HIV.
When we are young, we don't have our own beds. We don't have our own bedrooms. We just share. We sleep in the sitting rooms and what. So at times it was hard for us to keep things.
Both of us were supported through compassion. We have grown up together.
Mi ricordo che era una domenica mattina e eravamo in chiesa con la mia famiglia ed era presente Compassion, questa organizzazione che sostiene bambini a distanza, soprattutto nei paesi più poveri del mondo. E ricordo che appunto c'era questo banchettino con tante fotografie di bambini che erano in attesa di un sostegno. E questo bimbo mi colpì molto perché era serio, ma con questi occhietti che in qualche modo ti trasmettevano un sorriso. E i miei genitori decisero di sostenere un bimbo in quella giornata e affidare il sostegno a me e mio fratello, cioè a nome di Silvia e Alessandro.
They raised me, they made me who I am. You know, I grew up knowing I have a family in Italy. That alone kept me moving, you know. I would sleep on the street, but knowing, yeah, my family is in Italy. I remember I had a photo album of the Silvia's family. So I met other street kids on the street, but me, I was different. Because they would see me with photos of the Bazungu. The Bazungu means the white people. They would ask me, who are these? And I would tell them, it's my family in Italy. They're like, what are you doing here? What are you doing on the street? Okay? So they would treat me with respect. They would say, hey, Joseph, he has a family in Italy. But I would sleep on the street. I would eat in slums. I would pick food on the street also to sustain myself. But that one alone, that I had a family, made me a unique person, made me a unique street kid.
What I remember from Joseph, there are those times, you know, when you are given food. Every now and then you'll need food. But the person who is giving you food, at times he doesn't have, or there is nothing like food, because we used to get food from the project. So Joseph used to go and look for food in the village or around the home.
There is a very funny moment that happened one time. We were together at school, and the food was bad, and so Joseph wanted us to find out getting better food. So he told me to make a call to somebody and tell him we are not feeling very good, we're a bit sick, so we may need some money to go to the hospital. But the truth is that we were hungry and we wanted to eat something. They didn't send us money. They sent an ambulance. They sent an ambulance and we were not sick, so we had to act like we are sick people, and we were taken to hospital and they injected us to get blood.
At times he used to go to the garden and fruit out the young ones because he needed to feed the siblings below him. And at times it was a tough. So he wanted to go to school, but then he had to weigh between going to school and eating food.
And I think Joseph was in primary 3 or 5, one of the 2 classes. And because he was the family head, I think time reached when he couldn't absorb the challenges a home gets. So he decided to run away from home and comes to Masaka here. The child development officers, our aunties and uncles who were working with us, they started looking for him. They go to schools, not there. They go to all the people and families they thought he could be, who wasn't there. Later they learned, somebody told them, that they saw Joseph along a street in Masaka doing chapati.
So I had to look for Joseph. That's when I met Joseph on the street. I saw him, and later on I found him doing chapatis on the street.
And what he did was to arrange for a group of young people to make a deal and tell him, please, I want to catch that young man. That's what they did.
So I still talked to him, and he never wanted to go back, but he accepted. When he accepted, we stayed together for some time, and then as we are trying to counsel him to go back to school.
So they got Joseph, put him in the car, took him back. And because they knew it was because of the family upbringing and background, the aunt chose to put up with Joseph in her house.
He has stayed with me since he finished school. I think it's a favor. Staying with me. For other people, he would have gone out and looked for other places and stayed with maybe friends or rented somewhere else. But Joseph has done me a favor, and I feel strong when I'm with him. You know, he's this guy who stays with you but takes care of you.
And that's how, for me, I call that a turning point for Joseph.
Lui nelle lettere ci scriveva il suo desiderio di continuare gli studi. Ovviamente la quota era diversa ed era molto più alta. Noi ci pensammo, però la cosa che fu comune del pensiero di tutti noi in famiglia fu: non possiamo lasciare Joseph così.
When I joined the university, in my second year, we do research. And I remember my topic was impact of HIV/AIDS in Rakai district. So I told my supervisor, you know what, I'm traveling to Rakai to do research. And everyone was scared. Even my classmates were like, hey, Joseph, you're going to Rakai, you know what's happening there?
When he told me I have to go to Rakai, that was so weird to me. Rakai, you know, it has a lot of history. And I got scared for him. So I was like, that is weird. I mean, you can't do that, right? So it's like risking yourself into a battlefield when you can't know what you're going to get, because he didn't know anyone this side. And I was scared of him. To me, it was weird.
Because Rakai is attached with a lot of things. It's attached with, different stereotypes. It's attached with negative attitudes. Because in Rakai, there are people who eat human flesh, okay? In Rakai, the whole nation, the whole Uganda, they think whoever lives in Rakai is HIV positive, okay? They think whoever lives in Rakai is cursed. So when the classmates heard this, that I'm traveling to Rakai, they were like, Joseph, really? Why don't you do the internship or your research in the city center? I was like, no, I need to go to Rakai.
He told me he wants to start an organization to help children like him, because he used to tell me his story and how he has come. When Joseph tells you, I'm going to do this, he's going to do that. And then sometimes he tells you, Wilson, I want to do this. And then you see there is no way. Then you ask him, how are you going to do that? I mean, you don't have the resources, you don't have the connections, you don't have anything.
Sometimes you feel like, Joseph, you are not listening to what I'm saying. But Joseph, when he focuses, you can't divert him.
But he's good. He's just ambitious and he doesn't want to change anything until he reaches what he wants.
At that time, he got me and another friend of ours called Ivan. We came to Rakai to start up something from nowhere. And we didn't have money, we were only students. And he was using his own money at the time and some help from his aunt.
During his internship in Rakai project, I told him it is okay. Whatever we have, if we can offer love, let us go and offer the love. That at times I don't help him, but he goes door to door, at least knowing what is happening in the life and the family of those children that we have.
Un giorno arrivò la notizia da parte sua che si trasferiva negli Emirati Arabi per trovare lavoro in modo da poter sostenere questo progetto che lui stava portando avanti.
They didn't know that I have more other kids I'm looking after, 33 kids. You know, they call me Uncle Joseph, Uncle Jose. So what I did, I went to a certain company, I applied to go to Abu Dhabi as a taxi driver. I did the training, I passed, I got a driving license in 6 months. But here in Uganda, you can get a driving license in 1 week. So that one confused my life. I was like, hey, we are living a different life.
Well, I remember at the time he went to Abu Dhabi, I was not into that. I suggested many options. And I was like, the money we are going to give in the company that is making all the documents for you. Joseph was like, no, I need to do something. I'm going, I need the money because I need to look after these children and I can't do it. I wish he could listen to me and stay because I also needed him for these children, for the organization to go on.
È stata molto dura per lui sicuramente perché lui mi ha raccontato che si era portato dietro delle lettere che io gli avevo scritto ai tempi dell'università e lui mi raccontava che spesse volte si ritrovava un po' così nella solitudine, nella mancanza di casa, della sua terra e nel rileggere quelle lettere lui si sentiva di nuovo a casa, tra virgolette, perché nelle lettere risentiva quell'affetto che era della sua famiglia.
Sylvia knew that my passion wasn't driving taxi or driving on good roads or being in a developed country. No, my passion was living in Rakai.
The country was so developed more than our country, so he used to make a lot of mistakes. And he used to write to me and tell me what he was going through daily. And I felt that he needed to come back home.
With my colleagues I was staying with in the accommodation, when Sylvia said, come to Italy, I told them, you know what, I'm leaving this job, I'm going back to Rakai. And everyone was like, Joseph, are you for real? You go to Rakai to do what? Are you mad? I was like, no, my passion is not here. And I think God has answered my prayer. I told them, I have a sponsor in Italy and she's calling me to go and visit them.
Quindi acquistammo questo biglietto per lui, venne in Italia. Quando poi siamo arrivati all'aeroporto e lui è uscito dal gate, è stato indescrivibile, cioè praticamente ci siamo saltati addosso, proprio ci siamo abbracciati con lacrime, quasi non ci credevamo, nessuno dei due, c'erano anche i miei genitori presenti.
I would communicate with Sylvia frequently because she can speak English. And my brother Sandro, he could speak little English. But Mom and Dad, they could not. But I could see the joy in their heart. Then, the turning point of that, Mom brought a black doll. The reason she loved the black color and she wanted Sylvia and Alessandro to grow loving our color.
Joseph fu molto sorpreso perché cominciò a dirci: ma noi in Uganda non abbiamo le bambole nere, perché ce le avete voi in Italia? E quindi noi cominciamo a spiegargli un po' la storia di questa bambola. Quando mia zia, la sorella di mia mamma, era piccolina, arrivarono dei missionari nella chiesa, dei missionari che lavoravano in Africa, raccontando un po' quello che era la situazione di questi paesi più poveri. Questa cosa ovviamente rimase nel suo cuore, tanto che quando poi lei diventò grande e ebbe una nipotina, cioè io, regalò appunto la bambolina nera alla sua nipotina, che fu appunto la mia prima bambola. E quindi quando raccontavamo questa cosa a Joseph, quando appunto era a casa nostra, lui cominciò a piangere proprio, si commosse molto e da lì poi ci raccontò un'altra storia che lui aveva vissuto proprio negli Emirati Arabi e che fece piangere anche noi.
I've been hated before. Arabs know Africa as a caste land. And I would go back in my room and pray and say, Lord, why all this to us? Why? Then when I was driving my taxi, I got passengers, a mom and a baby. So the baby came here just in the corridor of the car while I was driving, and she was touching me. Like this, Mom, what happened to this taxi driver? Okay, I was like, no. It's Africa. It's Africa. Leave. So I wanted to answer the kid, but I feared because we are not allowed to talk to the passengers. So the kid wanted to know exactly what happened to my skin, and she was touching me like this, and she could not mind about my color. But the mom was telling the kid that I'm a caste African, but though in Arabic words, but I could hear some Arabic words. If this mom told the kid that no, we are the same, it's just the color is black and for us we are white, but we are the same and we have the same blood. When I went to Italy, it was a different story. I realized that love and hate is taught. And I got to know that when I visited Abu Dhabi and when I visited Italy.
Prendemmo Joseph e in qualche modo gli facemmo capire che non doveva tornare negli Emirati Arabi e quindi ci parlammo tra di noi, in famiglia, con i miei genitori, mio fratello, e decidemmo insieme di prendere noi carico di questo progetto come sostenitori.
By the time he came back to Uganda, I was pregnant. He didn't tell me anything that he was coming. The only thing he told me was he was going to Italy to see Sylvia. I just didn't know his plans. I didn't know he was coming back for real. But I was so grateful the time when he came from Italy and he told me, I'm staying.
And I'm using all those values into what I'm doing. That seed in me is the seed I want to transfer to other kids. I think there's a difference between a child that grew up with parents and a child that grew up without parents. I've seen that we totally behave differently. I've seen it from my wife. I've seen it from different friends. Let me give you an example of my wife. My wife grew up in a good family. His dad is a rich man in Kampala. Me, I'm coming from different background, okay? But in our way of living, we see there's some differences. What I like, she doesn't like. So I think I missed that moment of being with my parents. I think I missed that parental love of my mother. Sometimes I'm so aggressive in doing my work, not because that's what I want. No, that's how I grew up. Because I grew up looking forward for my brothers. I grew up being the head of family, which is totally different from my wife.
I didn't know that he was going to propose. He took me somewhere at a certain hotel. I thought we were just going for an evening to chill. But unfortunately, he had invited my sisters, he had invited his sister engineer, he had invited everyone. So it was a surprise. Yeah, it was my best moment ever. Yeah.
You know, Joseph, on his wedding, he told his father-in-law, he told him, Dad, you are the first person I'm calling Dad. But if you considered my background before giving me your daughter as my wife, if you looked at my background and if you considered backgrounds, you'd not give me your daughter. So if you look at, he has had a rough background. So it's so inspirational.
I wish I could just go back to being 2 years. I really wish. Because the people who were supporting us, when they saw Peter, they just thought about Peter and his parent, and then his family, and then how they are poor, how they don't eat enough. Therefore, they limited Peter and Joseph to such a background. And now, we see this young boy or girl, Junior or Paul or Steve, as one who is a gift from God, and God has a beautiful plan for him, and whichever circumstance this person is going through, he will achieve that. And that's why we see them with an amazing potential. And I wish they saw that in us. And I miss that.
When we look at where we are right now, like, wow, we don't want to go back. So as a child, there is not much I miss. Yes, I like to be where I am now.
Actually, when he began, he was like, we are beginning small. But that beginning small motivated me. I felt like, yes, out of small, we can hope the big nation. So that's how we began the motivation of working and still linking up with Joseph.
Like misconceptions about family planning. So you think, what this is poison, like you guys don't, you're trying to kill us, like, yeah.
Loro usano i contraccettivi sotto pelle, tipo la pillola che noi prendiamo, però hanno questi impianti sottocutanei. I'm explaining them because in Italy we don't use the one that you use here. I mean, it's not very common in Italy, but I know that you use like contraceptive under skin and Quindi loro pensano che li stanno avvelenando,
Sì, esatto,
perché semplicemente
this
mette
is
proprio un
something
impianto e rimane lì.
Do you use injection?
No, we use like pills or like plasters that release hormones, or there is like it's called the ring that women put inside and it releases hormones. No, that is the spiral. There is another one that is a ring. It's really a ring of this dimension. And then the normal one, condoms. Loro praticamente hanno lo stesso marito e questo è un problema qui perché molto spesso non hanno neanche i mezzi per sostenersi, tutti loro condividono i figli e vivono tutti nella stessa casa, stessa stanza.
And this one is young.
Lei è giovane,
Underage.
è minorenne.
Yeah, he's 17. But she gave back. She came back.
When you are teaching how a family should be and you are saying these words, they are good, how do they take it?
Oh wow.
They understand at once, or maybe they have
No,
they don't
it's a
understand.
process.
Okay.
You know, you're a medical personnel. You teach them use family planning, they will not allow it. Because they think having very many kids, it's a business.
It's a culture.
It's a culture. They say, how can a man have 2 kids? And one wife. So they think a man should have more than one wife. Today I have all what I can give to my mother. How I wish I say, if my mother is alive now and she's sick, I'll take care of her. Because I know the treatment, I have the clinic I run in Nabigasa in my organization, and I'm treating different people. I say, how I wish my mom is alive and is HIV positive. She would feel happy because I would be giving her medication, I would do this, but I didn't get that opportunity. And I think every child needs to have a guardian. Every child needs to have a parent, especially mother, to grow with. So I miss that, and I think I don't wish my child, my biological child, to have that experience. It's really bad. You know, being there and you don't have what to eat and no one is there to tell you, please, we shall get food tomorrow. And that one is not there. That experience is not good to any child.
Nobody likes this work that he does. I mean, every time people come to him, it's about sharing misery. Who likes that? Who? People come to share misery. Oh, Joseph, my child doesn't have ABCD, doesn't have books, doesn't have... He's not like, you know, people in the bank who, you know, counts money and gives people who are happy. But all the time, he is working with people who are sick, people who are hopeless. I mean, that's why I think his life is about making sure he creates hope, he cleans up stuff, he turns things upside down to a better position. I would choose that.
Sometimes in my office I get children who need support, and I feel demotivated. How can I begin? What can I do? When I get a phone and call Joseph, and Joseph is like, "Press, come to office, we see how to go about it," I'm motivated. And I feel like I can source out more children for support. Because we know where we came from. We also came from, should I say, disabled families. And if you are coming from a disabled family, you feel you should also help the disabled families come up to reach a certain level.
Knowing someone's life or someone difficult that he or she goes through can lead you to do something. But if you don't know, you might not mind. You might live in your comfortable zone. Some people don't know what it means. They don't know what it means sleeping hungry without food in the stomach. But if you know that, you can do a difference in someone's life.
Allora stiamo andando da David, un bambino sostenuto da ROHP che in questi giorni si è rotto una gamba, quindi andiamo a trovarlo, a vedere come sta e a portare un po' di regali per lui e per la sua famiglia.
This is the mother. It's the mother.
Ci senti visto?
Naffe tusanyuse bannange era tubanyabo mwebale bannange ngansimye nnyo bamama batata bannange mwebale kujja muzeeyi mukwano siri mwebale sister waffe
ati novaayo omwana oyo balabika bamwagaze mukwano.
He's in pain. They called me at night.
Oh.
So I think he needs serious attention now. Big hospital.
Yeah, because but they didn't put anything like
The cement?
Yeah.
Per fissarlo.
No, they can take it from Kampala maybe.
To Kampala?
Wamenyekedde ddala ddala.
Naye omuyunza kati nosanze kutowolokose naye kubadde kukoma eno kuti naye kati kutowolokose akoze omuyunza ayunga wali
Kyakola.
kyakola naye luli kubadde kukoma eno naye ng'ayunga nnyo kubanga ne mutwalira abo batera omuleeta mubuko yakola mu council.
When are you thinking to bring him to the hospital?
So we are going to do it tomorrow.
What about today? Is not possible?
Derek is already in the other program in the field. So, but tomorrow I'm going to make an arrangement very early in the morning.
Okay.
Put fuel on the other car, Florence car.
Okay.
Because they want to get the scan.
Yeah, of course.
The image. Okay.
Of course.
We see where the bones have dislocated. Yeah.
And they put cement also.
Exactly. Yeah.
But it's just the nearest hospital that can do this is Kampala.
Yeah, it's
If there isn't another one.
Okay. I know that you feel pain now, but as we told you the other day we were together, your name is the name of a warrior and a king in the Bible. So I know that you are strong exactly like him. So I know that everything will be alright, you don't have to worry. Maybe it will be long to recover, but you will be fine. Thank you, bye bye, huge hug, bye bye.
Okay, Dr. Dawson, thank you so much.
Cosa ha detto?
Ha detto che probabilmente sarà anche comodo, ma anche il miglior posto dove andare nell'ospedale di Masaka, che quindi è più vicino a Rakai. E, dice che non conosce chi ci lavora proprio, ma conosce comunque bene o male come vengono fatti i vari trattamenti, quindi si fida abbastanza. Adesso ci farà avere bene o male quello che potrebbe costare il tutto tra raggi X e eventualmente il gesso, e stasera vediamo come poter risolvere il tutto. Ce la facciamo? Sì.
Bandanga kino sikirabanga mutawo Joseph kiki kino.
Today is Thursday.
So this is David. He's very fine. So we can jump.
I can start by saying it was from scratch. Where there was no hope, he saw hope. Where there was no strength, he saw the powerful things. He loves God and he trusted God from the beginning. And then he's moving his dream.
Joseph, to ROHP, I think for me, I see him as a vision bearer who bears a bigger vision and future, and trying to paint a picture for how orphaned children and vulnerable children can beat all odds to ensure they benefit from the scarce opportunities in the country through education and health.
We do HIV testing in the community. We do mobilization, all the communities. I remember when they brought a kid without an opening from behind. It's called a congenital abnormality in a medical term. The boy was born without an opening. So I realized it needs a lot of money. Then I was like, no, I think we have even people in Uganda with money. So what we need to do is to mobilize the community. We do charity work. They come and we raise money. So we did car washing. I injected money to advertise the day. I went on the radios. They put it on TV that there's charity work in Kaliso. People moved from different districts, different towns to bring their car to be washed. And we could wash the car, they pay money. We raised a lot of millions here from the local people. We give treatment, we test, we do follow-up, we measure the viral load. All those programs are sponsored by CDC. Then we have another program called Orphans and Vulnerable Children. That one I said, it's sponsored by the Italian friends. They do solicit money from different organizations, from churches, from individuals, families, well-wishers, and they make sure that we pay school fees for these kids. We do medication for these kids. We do follow-ups. We put up shelters, and we are planning to put up a community school in Rengo district.
When he started with Rakai Orphans Hope Project, there's a time when he was really struggling, but he would go to his office every morning like there was nothing in the office. He rented a room, he put there some files, got some children, and when you'd call him, Joseph, at 8 in the morning, he'd tell you, I'm in my office right now. So what are you doing in your office? But he was there every day, every day, every day.
At times in our family, they look at us, I don't know, the two of us as, I think, aliens. Because we are the two Christian people in our family. We look like the educated, the Christian, and like we are, when we go to the family, we don't even fit. They feel like they don't want to associate with us. We are different, but it's all by God.
I see him as a humble, committed, and very hardworking boy, I must say. He's down on earth, and he loves children. I'd say issues to do with children, because that is the coordinating office that I hold, and I've seen him really interested in issues of children.
Joseph is very good. We really appreciate as a district because, and wherever he gathers his children, his sponsored children, he invites to witness. We always supervise, we monitor to see exactly what he's doing. So we are grateful that what Joseph is doing is transparent. He's now an open.
My background, my childhood life, it's the one motivating me to do this. I know what it means not paying school fees to a vulnerable child. I know what it means if you're supposed to give medication to a certain kid and you don't give it. I know how it feels if the kid is sick and say, Uncle Joseph, I'm sick, and say, no, go to the certain clinic and get medication. That one I know how it feels because that's the life I went through into compassion. And I can imagine if the compassion staff were given school fees for Joseph and they didn't post school fees for me, where will I be? We are the one who put this house, ROHP, Rakai Orphans Hope Project. We constructed this one. They didn't have a shelter. But later, this one was the owner of the family. And this one was the wife. Okay? So they gave birth to Namato. You see, Namato is in our program. He's the only kid, Benedict. Is the only kid in our program. But when this one became sexually inactive, this one came in. So they started to share the house we built. So they were sleeping on the same bed. 2 men, 1 wife. So when I came, I said, no, this is not right. He left. He's no longer sleeping here. He accepted it. Him is the brother to him. Okay? And he stays there. And he has 2 wives also. But they were also sleeping in the same bed with all the kids. So what we did, we told him to construct another house. A small house. Okay? So that's the story of his home and family. We have more than, we had 1 kid, but we just had more than 8 kids. There are very many here. Very many, you don't see them. So they sleep here and I got 2 mattresses.
Okay.
For Bernadette and for the parents.
Yeah.
Though it's not right to sleep in the same, but because of the space, we have an option. We bought for them the mosquito nets, but I don't see them right now. I don't know what happened. I'm going to make a follow-up on that.
Ok, loro hanno, se la stanno usando correttamente la zanzariera, ce l'hanno sopra il letto. Quindi, cioè più che altro sto dicendo che è molto difficile poter,
So, Gina, that's the story of this family. And also I wanted to take you where the other old man, where he built. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's a bedroom this side.
Okay. May I ask you how old is he?
He's 70.
70.
70. So this is a house, a shelter, but once it rains, but there's a bedroom this side.
Yeah, now we are going to have a look.
Yeah, there's a bedroom.
It's so precious for us. So thank you from our hearts. And I want to encourage you to trust the Lord and to follow His principi del Signore, His directions, because from Him comes life. So you will have the strength to live this life and to have everything you need, because He cares for you. Ragazzi, vogliamo fare una preghiera per voi? I was thinking maybe we can pray.
You want to help everybody because almost everybody has an issue, whether financial, whether spiritual, whether socio-emotional, whether cognitively. People have deficiencies, and you asking yourself, okay, I have this passion. I know what we can do to solve this. But shall there ever be a one solution at a point when the sick can get healed, the poor get food on the table, the orphans get back their parents, and by doing all that, can we find one solution, one like this solution? And right now we are still suggesting that probably if you accept Christ and have access to education, you will have probably live a life of, a fulfilled Christian. But that hasn't happened. We have so many Christians in the government offices, they are still corrupt. Would education therefore an answer? One can say no. Is accepting Christ an answer? Well, somebody can say no. So what is an answer? So do I have some doubt in education? No. I think everybody should have access to education. Will it solve all the problems? The answer is no. Because we have those who are educated with PhDs and doctors and are the main cause of suffering to our areas. They are corrupt, they are thieves, they are selfish, they think about themselves. We have pastors and reverends and fathers who think about themselves, who don't care about the sheep that they are shepherding. And what is an answer? I haven't gotten an answer yet. Because look, we go to churches where people testify about why they accepted Christ, and they say, well, I accepted Christ because I was sick and he healed me. And others say, I was poor and now I have a house. And I was jobless, but now I have a job, that's why I accepted Christ. But again, there are other people who have all that I have just mentioned, but they still live a misery life. What would the answer be then?
It's difficult to trust God. My mother taught me to trust God because, like Joseph, I lost my father also when I was 7 years old. And I lost him to HIV and he died of AIDS. And I'm a scientist right now, I know. And he had HIV before he met my mother. And they had 3 children together. And I was so worried that my mother was going to die as well. But she told us, my children, your father died of HIV, AIDS, but don't worry, I'm not going to die. So I did not believe that, and he died of HIV, you have HIV, you're going to die. But she would say a prayer. Okay, when we would have a fellowship in the evening, we would pray and then we'd pray for her, please God, heal our mother, please God, heal our mother. But when we'd ask her to pray, she would say, God, you're my healer. I trust that you're my healer. And if I die, you are still my healer. So she told me, when you ask God for something, trust Him that He's going to do it. Just trust. and I've learned to trust God. That's one of the biggest lessons in my life.
It's not about money, it's about how I've been able to do what I'm supposed to do, to help and save a life, and maybe to improve and bring a smile on somebody's face, the one who came in my office maybe crying, a lot of problems, the child there who could not be getting a meal due to, or the child who was not getting education because of domestic violence. The next time when I handle this case, mediate it, and I try to reconcile the couples, then the following day I feel like, yes, things are working. Now the children are back to school, the family is happy. For me, that is my drive. I feel good, yeah.
When you reflect from where Joseph was picked and the time was on the street, was not needing one to go to school because of frustration, because of hopelessness, you feel the joy. And when you see him right now, a big man, you really appreciate God.
Gospel, people think you need to put up a big church and preach the gospel. That's not the way. People now want to look at the actions.
But it's time now to do something. And I want to thank you. You've been contributing for this program. No one has helped this program apart from you guys. You could bring food. You have, which shows that you still love this place. As a Rakai Orphans Hope Project, we are going to come back to stay.
Questi microorganismi che entrano nelle scatole, nei piedini dei bambini e gli portano come poi depulito, esatto, scabbia sarebbe. Okay. Un'altra sfida che hanno da affrontare è che non essendoci vetri o altro entra il sole tipo alle 3 del pomeriggio e di conseguenza i bambini dopo un po' hanno molto caldo, si sentono anche soffocare perché comunque è molto caldo, anche la struttura è piccolina, quindi oltre a questi organismi, gli insetti che vengono dalla sabbia, c'è anche il problema del non avere un riparo del sole all'interno. Comunque stanno facendo comunque le lezioni qui dentro. I bambini portano da casa una tazzina, una tazza così e prendono, ne mangiano praticamente una al giorno.
Quindi questo è l'unico passo.
L'unico passo della giornata. Thank you.
We planted and nothing came out. Oh. So you see the land is bare and it is a garden. Yeah, so these are the challenges now we are facing with food. And when it comes to food, we are facing a lot of challenges.
But do you think that the land is still good for planting?
Yeah, the land is good.
Okay.
It is very good when you plant and it has rained. Okay. Things will come out.
Okay. So it was just once that didn't came anything?
Yes.
Okay.
When we went to visit the school and I saw kids excited, I know I'll be remembered for that. I know, people are still calling me, hey Joseph, you brought us Bazungu. That's what I want. Not to say, Joseph has a lot of money, Joseph is rich. No, I don't like that. I want that thing that people cannot touch. That's what I want in my life.
Io sono una lettrice, a me piacciono le storie, le testimonianze, le biografie e quando le leggo rimango sempre senza parole, appunto, nella bellezza di una storia. Wow, stupendo, e spesse volte mi immedesimo in quello che è la vita di qualcuno e dico quanto mi piacerebbe avere anch'io una storia così bella. E quindi sapere di essere parte di questa storia così bella, di cui Joseph è protagonista, ma ci sono anch'io dentro. E mi fa emozionare, mi fa commuovere.
If the families, the couple come here, some of them come when they cannot even look eye to eye. They feel like, they will tell you, my husband is so hard. I'm having challenges, I'm bringing in the issues, progression. But when they come here and we talk, and when they leave my office smiling, I feel like, yes, that is good. At least that family will now live, because it's not easy to change a mindset, but we've managed somehow.
Be humble. Whatever you have, you will live here. And love those that are hard to love. The dirty people. Those that we think have no future. Let's love them. As you love them, be humble.
You have even spiritual accounts, okay? Whatever you do as a kind of love, as an act of love, goes to your spiritual account. You might not have money now, but think of your spiritual account.
Because again, what do I benefit if I don't do it? Do I have a benefit if I do it? Yes, I do. I will break it.
There's nothing good like being truthful in life. Once we tell the truth, life will be easy.